while we're standing. So this is the top path near the upper meadow. The meadow has, of course, of recent days been cut and also been turned to dry it out. So already harvest has begun. What you find is that it might look like a very bland kind of field, but in reality there's a lot of activity going on. You can actually see at the moment a white butterfly coming across. I just saw a wasp on a post, and as you pan round on here you can go all the way through, and our barrier hedge creates just that little bit between us and the road. And then when we draw back here, we've got our avenue of trees on our left. We've got the hawthorn still. Oh, look at that. There's a lovely sand martin just flew above our heads. And then there's another one just coming over the top of the tree. Behind me you can hear the call of a common whitethroat. Occasionally he's bursting into song. We have a dragonfly down here, a chaser. A broad-bodied chaser. Okay, we have actually right above us a common buzzard hanging in the air. This common buzzard, of course, is 20 years ago you wouldn't have seen any around here. This morning we've seen at least 4. Which shows you that birds of prey are increasing. Some are not very happy about that. But on my left, your right, we have just a common ivy. As far as I'm aware, it's just a common ivy. But in reality, on fear of death, Jeff and his colleagues have been told simply, don't fiddle with it, leave it. Because if you notice at the moment, it has got a bit of sun on it. But most of the day it spends itself in the shade like most ivies. But because the fact that it gets a bit of sun on it, it produces very good berries at the end of the year. And it basically provides fantastic habitat for small invertebrate and especially insects. You would think that being an ivy, it's just an absolute pain. But in reality, it's a habitat all of its own. It even has what we call an ivy bee, which is so specific to that species that it requires the life of an ivy to sustain it. That's habitat. Now when we come out of lockdown, there are some things that are going to sustain us. Some things that will help us to be involved with people and things and pathways and other things that we'll have to learn all over again. And the thing is that as much as this is a specific, we need to put in place specific things as well to help us do what we want to do in the future. You can hear, or I can hear, hopefully you can too, you can hear the sound of, I can hear the sound of robin, wren, I can hear the sound of blackbird, I can hear the chipping of a blackcap. That is a wren. It's performing well, being chased through the undergrowth. And as you can imagine, this little spot here is is an amazing, just a little bit of countryside which has been missing, and we've desecrated our hedges and our fauna and flora to the point where really it's reliant on places like pathways to create subsistence life for it. One of the other things that I can hear as I stand here, hear the black-capped chipping. Not very happy. And then around us we have crows, rooks, sand martins, jackdaw. Just lovely to hear a wren. And hear the white throat in the background. So we're going to draw this to a close really now, and I expect you'll either be glad or wondering what on earth happened. And the fact of the matter is we're down by the lake, and still a lovely blue sky today. We have goldfinch just coming through all the while. You might actually be able to hear them. And of course the noise of traffic as well. We just spotted the swans with their young. I think Jeff tells me there's 4, and they're only a few days old. Swans are a very odd bird, very big of course, and everybody seems scared of them. At the age of 14 I was actually trapping them and ringing them for the British Trust for Ornithology. I'd be sent into a trap and I was supposed to come out with one under one arm and one under the other. You can imagine how hilarious that must have seemed to people who were watching. Of course it said that they basically can break your arm. Who's to say? It never broke mine and I was only a kid. The fact of the matter is though, swans are beautiful, aren't they? And they also have a wonderful activity of associating with each other for life. You will find in birding terms that white birds very often stay together all their life, whereas ones with fancy colours don't seem to do the same. They're always trying to find a new mate somewhere out in the wild, but white birds stick together. So, you know, you might think everything's black and white in our world today. But as long as you stick together, that's the most important thing. And I'll just wait to see you again, perhaps sometime down here. And I hope you not only keep yourself safe, you keep sensible in what you are and what you do as well. So from me to you, all the best. There we go. Did you get it? That was a black cat. They're a male and a female together. They're just kind of following each other through the undergrowth.